This is the Louie T Network.
Who else? Could it be? Me, you're me, Louie T. Welcome to lockdown coverage week number 12. National Football League. Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons in some good old-fashioned NFC South family business. If these two teams say they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. But if they did, that's family business. And the Falcons are a team on a mission right now. And I told you about a month ago, I said, man, I'm not giving up on this Falcons football team. And I wasn't sure if they were going to go on the road and beat Seattle, but I said, don't count. Even when you lost to Carolina, my takeaway from that game was I'm still not counting out this Falcons team. And I said it before, I'll say it again, and some people have looked at me crazy when I've said this. This Falcons team this season is better than last year's team. The defense is light years ahead of where it was this time last year. This defense is much better. Desmond Trufant is on the field, which automatically makes this defense better. These second-year players that were rookies last year, they know what they have to do. This is a better defense, and offensively, you've got talent everywhere. The question is, can you get the coordinators, Marquel Manuel on the defensive side and Steve Sarkisian on the offensive side, to catch up to where the level of talent is on this football team? But it's there. This team is ready. They're better to me on the field than they were last year. I know a lot of Falcons fans looked at me crazy when I first made that statement about a month ago. I'm telling you, if you told me the Falcons found a way to come back and win this division, I wouldn't blink. I wouldn't bat an eye. They're talented enough to do so. Now, what does scare me is that they find it hard to put teams away. That does scare me. That is alarming, because they don't have a problem jumping out to a 14 or 20-point lead. They just got a problem holding on to those leads. And my sister damn near had another heart attack on Sunday, and for good reason, because this game was seemingly in hand at 27-6, and then all of a sudden you got yourself a 7-point ball game with the Bucs having the football with all the momentum down 27-20. And she started having flashbacks of Seattle last week. She started having flashbacks of Miami. She started having flashbacks of Buffalo and New England in the Super Bowl. She started having flashbacks when Teron Ward put the football on the carpet. My sister started having flashbacks and she started spazzing. And I don't blame her. But Julio was on one in this game. That man was on fire. And he destroyed, single-handedly lit up and set ablaze the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Every crucial, critical third down in this game. Hell, after the 27-20 debacle and the Falcons needing something, anything to put this game away, where did he go? Julio. And what did he do? Break a tackle, get down the sideline, and pick up about 35, 40 yards. Pretty much putting this game on ice. He was the man in this game. He was huge. So, anyway, if you haven't already done so, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to the Louie T Network for more great content in 2017 and beyond. We changed the game over here. I want you to help us do that by simply hitting that subscribe button and becoming a member of the Louie T Network. I've got a number of social media platforms that will help you stay abreast of what's going on this channel. There's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's YouTube, and Facebook. Turn on those notifications so you'll know when I'm going live and what I am going live about. All those social media platforms that I just mentioned, the links to them down in the description below. And also down in the description below is what you saw when the video first came on. How you can donate to this channel via Patreon or PayPal. Both of the links that you see in front of you are also down in the description below. And that's how you can donate to this channel, which I greatly appreciate. I thank all of you who have donated and continue to support the channel. And I really appreciate each and every single donation that has been given to this channel so graciously. And so if you can, please do donate to help further this channel along here on the Louie T Network. That being said, let's jump into this breakdown of the Falcons getting a 34-20 victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Falcons offensively are starting to hit their stride. We've watched them the last 3 weeks start to really open it up offensively. I can't tell you how many times I've asked my sister, hey, when's the Mohamed Sanu pass coming? Like, when's that happening? Because we know how talented he is and how he is 6 of 6 now in this league throwing the football. He hasn't missed yet. And he's not throwing dink and dunksters, you know what I mean? He's tossing it pretty far down the field through a rainbow to Julio for the touchdown in this game. I remember him doing it to us as a Redskins fans when he was a Cincinnati Bengal to start that game. A double reverse pass in which he launched it for like 60-yard touchdown to Marvin Jones on our skull. So he's been pretty prolific at throwing the football in this league. And I've been asking my sister all year long, when's that coming? And finally Sark saw fit to dial it up at a great time. And remember, before this touchdown, this Falcons offense was stagnant in this game. It was 3-3 at that point in the game, if I'm not mistaken. So they could use a pick-me-up at that point. And that was a huge play in the game. And from that point on, they took off. And it was good to see Mohamed Sanu be a part of that. He's been so big for this team. I remember when you guys signed him, and I was leading the charge along with Cincinnati Bengals fans, talking about how this guy wasn't a number 2 receiver, and you're going to find out, and yada, yada, yada. And I couldn't have been more wrong about Mohamed Sanu. He's been the quintessential 2, and at times he's been the number 1 option for this Falcons football team. And to see him have the type of production for this football team, it just warms my heart, because he's such a tough and gritty and good football player, the type of guy that every team should have one of on their roster. I mean, he does all the dirty work. He blocks, goes over the middle, makes the tough catches, can throw it. He does whatever he's asked to do, and he does it at the highest level possible. And so love what Mohamed Sanu brings to the table. And this Falcons team is fortunate enough to not have only 1 but 2 guys that in a critical 3rd down situation, they can feel really comfortable and confident throwing the football to, that these guys will get it done for them in Mohamed Sanu. Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Guess who? Mohamed Sanu. And Julio Jones, who was outstanding in this game. He was the best player on the football field, which on most weeks he is the best player on the football field. And I just recently came out with my list of best receivers in the league in 2017. And Julio Jones continues to show why. And he's among the best in this league at the receiver position. And he was just ridiculous in this football game. And I love the fact that he got into the end zone, because the production has been there this season, but the touchdown numbers haven't. And he only had 1 touchdown coming into this game, and he scored 2. He doubled his touchdown output in this game with his 2 first-half touchdowns. So in 1 half of football, he was able to do what he hadn't been able to do in 10 weeks prior to this, which is scored 2 touchdowns. So he was outstanding in this game. 12 catches, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he was the true difference maker offensively in this game, along with Tevin Coleman, who I just thought was fabulous in this game. And I want to see the run game come to life. I want to see those running backs touch the football a little bit more in the passing game. And I hate to see guys get injured, and I hate to see guys get opportunities via injury, but I also love seeing guys take advantage of opportunities via injury. And Tevin Coleman is taking advantage of this opportunity with Devontae Freeman out. And I think it's going to make him better, that when Freeman comes back, that 2-headed monster will be at full throttle once Freeman is able to come back from his concussion. So I'm looking at Tevin Coleman, and I'm seeing a guy that's running with more confidence. He's more explosive. The touchdown run to cap it to make it 34-20. That was an exceptional cutback and just the pure speed to get to the outside and get in the end zone. There's another run where he uses acceleration to get to the outside, down the sidelines, and pick up about a good 15 to 19 on a run. He was extraordinary, almost over 100 in this game. So when you've got that kind of balance on the ground and through the air with Matt Ryan just finding Julio Jones everywhere on the football field, and then you sprinkle in a gadget play or two, this is a team to be reckoned with. Even Teron Ward ran the football well. Aside from his one fumble that was huge at that time, he was good in this game as well. The one thing, like I said, I worry about this team is holding on to leads. You know, you're up 27-6, in complete control of this game in every way imaginable, and then the defense can't get any pressure on Ryan Fitzpatrick. They can't get the one stop that they need to just close the door. If they get one stop in that frame of the game, that one time frame, that one space in the game, well, if they just got off the field with the way the offense was playing, this game would have been over. But instead, they can't get off the field. Ryan Fitzpatrick is leading his team down the field on long, lengthy touchdown drives, and they're not holding them for field goals. They're letting them in the end zone. And next thing you know, it's 27-20, and then Teron Ward fumbles, and all of a sudden, Bucs have the football with all the momentum, with a chance to go down and tie the football game. And my sister was livid at that moment. And I'm pretty sure Falcon fans out there, you were upset and really pissed at that point of the game as well, and saying to yourself, how the hell did we get here? We were just up 21. We were just dominating this game. And I love those throwback uniforms. How the hell did we get here? I don't know. Stop asking. But unlike unlike the Buffalo or Miami game, you were able to shut the door closed like you were supposed to and win this game 34-20. Defensively, this was a little bit of a disappointing defensive effort because you would like to see the defense shut the door. The offense did more than their fair share of putting you in a position to make this a blowout. This should have been 34-13. But instead, you give up 2 touchdown drives and make Ryan Fitzpatrick look like Ryan Fitzpatrick when he's not Ryan Fitzpatrick. And so you didn't force any turnovers. You didn't get to him. You didn't sack him. You didn't harass him. Ryan Fitzpatrick will share if you prompt him to share. But you didn't get any pressure on him, so he didn't feel the need to share. He wasn't in the giving mood nor spirit because you didn't force him into that mode. And so he was able to escape the pocket, use his legs. He was able to find Deshaun Jackson time and time again. He was able to find O.J. Howard time and time again. He was able to find Mike Evans time and time again. And next thing you know, they're in the end zone. Peyton Barber is in the end zone twice. A guy that I like and thinks needs more carries in Tampa. And again, hate to see guys getting opportunities via injury. But if that means that we got Doug going down so Peyton can get more touches, I'm sorry, so be it. But in any event, the defense didn't make the plays when they needed to be made. But when you needed that stop after the sudden change of possession on the Teron Ward fumble, when you needed a stop on a 4th down, you got it. And I didn't love the decision there. Speaking of which, let's go to the Buccaneers quickly. I didn't love the decision there to go for it on 4th down. I get it, but there was so much time left in the game. How about you kick a field goal there? You've got all the momentum. How about you kick a field goal there, cut it to 4, and give yourself a chance to win the game if you get a stop with a touchdown. You know, that sounds great. I understand that it's only like 4th and 2, 4th and 1, but I'd like points there. You've got the momentum. 17 unanswered sounds better than 14 unanswered at that point. You kick it off. You see if your defense, which I agree, because the thought process was probably, look, our defense can't stop their offense. We probably need to tie this game up right now. I get it. I understand the thought process, but you never know. You just get that turnover. You've got all the momentum. You've scored 14 unanswered points. This would have made it 17 if you could have banged home the field goal. All of a sudden now, what was once a 27-6 deficit is now 27-23. You kick off. Maybe you get a stop. Maybe you get another turnover. Who knows? And you're able to steal the game. That was a momentum killer going forward and not getting it on 4th down. And it allowed the Falcons to then go down and put this game away with a great drive and put the nail in the coffin. So I didn't love that. You don't love this defense, which was the backbone of this football team a year ago. This defense is awful, and they're giving it up left and right. And they got baptized by Julio Jones in this game, and that's been the story. I mean, the Bills can't score on anybody. The Bills put up 30-plus on you, and they had their way with you in that football game, despite you turning it over a ton of times. Your defense has to be better because in the grand scheme of things, the offense didn't play bad. They actually, after the slow start to the game, they actually picked it up, and it was their ability to score, give the defense a rest, that got this team back into the game. And then when they needed you once more to come up with one more stop, even after they went for it, which I didn't agree with, but even after they went for it, hell, they went for it deep in Falcons territory. Let's just consider that a punt. And they needed you to come away with a stop right there. Get them back to football one more time. And you couldn't do it. And that was the theme of the day. You couldn't get stops. If not for the Teron Ward fumble, they were going in for more points. You couldn't get stops. After they turned on the faucet with the Mohamed Sanu touchdown pass to Julio Jones, you couldn't turn the faucet off. They turned it on, and you couldn't turn it off. And so the defense has been really disappointing this season. They continue to be. But that was a great play by Kendall Beckwith to force the fumble of Teron Ward and give them a shot in this football game. But Fitzpatrick, I must give him credit, man. Wherever he goes, he does this. He has these games, and this is 3 straight games he's played well. You've won 2 of them, and if the defense wasn't abysmal, you might have won a 3rd straight. So I love O.J. Howard. Thought he was good in this game. You're seeing Chris Godwin continue to evolve each and every single week. You know, Deshaun Jackson and Mike Evans continue to be your 1 and 2 receivers on this football team. I want to see more of Peyton Barber. Thought he had some good carries. Got in the end zone twice in this game. So this Buccaneers team isn't terrible. They're not terrible. They're just not good. And it's crazy to say this, but they're not good on defense. Which, at the beginning of this season, you ask any Bucs fan, they would have told you, if we struggle, it's going to be on offense. It won't be our defense. Well, it's your defense. You don't get pressure on the quarterback at all. In fact, you might have one of the worst defensive lines in all of football. You get no pressure on the quarterback. Matt Ryan was so comfortable. So comfortable. Mohamed Sanu had a chance to bobble, dust the football off, dust it off, turn it around, get his hands firmly on the laces, and then throw a rainbow for a 55-yard touchdown. No pressure at all. Matt Ryan was comfortable all day. And that's the theme against you every week. Quarterbacks comfortable. They go get a pillow. They go get them some popcorn. They turn on Netflix and just chill on your damn defense. It's ridiculous. You're not going to win in this league if you can't apply pressure to the other team's quarterback. It's not going to happen. The quarterbacks in this league are too good. Hell, even Ryan Fitzpatrick can damn near throw for 300. The Falcons didn't get any pressure on him. That's why he almost threw for 300 yards. You can't expect to beat good teams in this league if you can't get pressure on their quarterback. And that's been your story this season. No pressure on the quarterback equals trouble. To the tune of 253 yards receiving for Julio Jones. Julio! Falcons win 34-20. They're now 7-4 on the season with this win. And with the Saints' loss, 1 game out of first place in that division. That divisional race is phenomenal. It is fascinating to watch as 3 teams are vying for the number 1 spot in the NFC South. Both the Saints and Panthers tied at 8-3. And I'm not sure that this 7-4 Falcons team is any better than both of them. I'm not sure. It's going to be fun. Saints and Falcons have to lock horns twice in the final 6 weeks of the season. Final 5 weeks of the season. And the Falcons still have a home date with the Panthers. So this division going to be settled the old-fashioned way. by teams playing against each other. Not, oh, I hope Tampa Bay beats Carolina. Oh, not I hope Jacksonville beats. Nah, F all of that. You go beat New Orleans. You want this division? You go beat them yourself. You want this division? You go beat Carolina yourself. Don't ask anybody else to do you any dirty work. You do it yourself. I love it. Want more of it. Wouldn't have it any other way. For the Buccaneers, rough season. Rough season, but you can still play spoilers. You've got this Falcons team one more time. I believe you have the Saints once more. And I think you're done with the Panthers, though. I think they've already gotten you twice. But you'll have some say in it. We'll see what happens. In any event, let's get to any comments. Sergeant Spooner says, defense still worries me. When the Falcons have a lead, they revert to a soft zone, give up too many plays underneath. They let teams back into the game. I don't have a problem with soft zone coverage, keeping everything in front of you. My problem is, at some point, though, you got to stop the other team. Like, I don't mind them having, because it's not like the Bucs quick strike you. The worst thing that can happen is what the Redskins allowed the Saints to do 2 weeks ago. Be dominating the game and then play soft and then giving up chunk plays. I'd much rather you play soft and keep everything in front of you and not be like the Redskins and play soft and let guys get open behind you. So I don't have a problem with that. The key, though, is once they get in the red zone, that's when you're supposed to buckle down and say, okay, enough of the soft stuff. Let's tighten up and force a field goal. Or in the case of the Bucs, who were probably going to go for it on fourth down, let's get a stop like you did on that fourth down. That's what you got to find a way to do as a good defense, and you haven't been able to do that this season. That's the only thing that worries me, is when you're playing soft, when you're up big, and you're allowing teams to matriculate it down the field. That's fine. You want them to check it down to the running back, and if he gets 8, fine. If they check it down to the tight end on a crossing route, and he gets 12, okay, fine, whatever. Just don't let him get in the end zone after the 13-play, 8-minute, and 67-yard drive. Force that to either be for a field goal or no points. Blackbird Blitz says, can you tell us your top 5 receivers this year? No need to rank them. No, I can't. I've already done that on my show on the list. So I can't give out that information. But you can pretty much surmise. Now, you know what? I can't say that because there's some good receivers this year. But I've done that on the list, and I don't want to give out that information. I know you said I don't have to rank them, but there are a number of receivers that have been outstanding this year. They've been outstanding, and Julio's been one of them for sure. Joe Sharp says, the NFC playoffs are going to be a lot more fun to watch than the AFC playoffs. So many better teams in the NFC, even if the best team is still in the AFC. I'm not sure if that's the case, but the Patriots or the Steelers might be the best team in the league. I can't debate that. But the bulk of the good teams in the league, you are correct, are in the NFC. And you could argue that the Eagles are the best team in the league. And so they might have not only the best group of teams, but the best team overall. But I still think the Patriots, until somebody knocks them off their mantle, are the best team in the league, along with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But until somebody comes and we're going to find out how good the Eagles are. I can't wait to find out. The next 3 weeks are going to tell us how good the Eagles are. So we're going to see if they are legit or not. Stormtrooper 2817 says, Falcons should legit think about switching back to those old black helmets and black jerseys. Maybe experiment with the red alternate pants on those if they want. But it looks good. Man, it looks good. Every time I see them, I'm like, God damn, those uniforms are crispy, boy. Man, them things are... They're litty, man. I looked at them and I said, damn, I love those uniforms. Every time I see them. Joe Sharp, oh, I already read that. Bucks fan says, what do you think the Bucks do from here? I mean, just play out the season and then you see what happens from there. You see what happens with Jameis Winston, and you kind of figure out what holes you have. You got to get after the quarterback. You need more pressure on the QB. So I'd start there. That's the first thing that I would want to handle in the offseason, is finding a way to get more pressure on the quarterback, because you don't do a good enough job of doing that right now. And that's probably your biggest downfall on defense, looking at this Bucs team from afar. But in any event, that's going to do it for Bucs and Falcons. Falcons get the win 34-20 over the Buccaneers. After almost blowing a 21-point lead, they end up winning this game comfortably 34-20. Get to 7-4 on the season. Have a huge matchup next week, I believe. I think you've got a big one next week versus the Vikings, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be fun to watch there if you're Atlanta. How good are you? We're going to see. Case Keenum, he's still Case Keenum. Deep down inside, Case Keenum is still in there. God damn it. I just need somebody to bring him out. Maybe the Falcons are the team to do that. We'll see. As far as the Bucs are concerned, they're now 4-7, and we'll see how they finish up the season, because there's still questions about, is Dirk Cutter the right man for the job? And how the team finishes up this season is going to go a long way in determining if, in fact, he is the right man for the job or not in Tampa Bay. That's going to do it for your man Louie T here on Lockdown Coverage. Still, plenty more games to come. There's Seahawks and 49ers. There's Raiders and Broncos. And hell, to hell with the game. We talking about the main event, the fight. So we're going to break that fight down. That was some good 12-round action there, man. And even though it was a split decision that went in the favor of L.A.B, I still thought Michael Crabtree got some good punches in there. So we're going to break that fight down. Forget the damn game. We're going to break that fight down. And, of course, still Jags and Cards as well. So come back a little bit later. We'll break them all down. We'll have fun while doing it. It's your man Louie T signing off. More Lockdown Coverage to come. Don't you go anywhere. Got a lot more breakdowns coming your way. See you down the line.